Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I am your host, Saheem the Dream.
And it's your boy, Two Bells Banks, a.k.a. J McMain. Sasha did it.
J McMain, what is going on today?
What it do, bro? Even though I got the two current retired belts, but hey, I mean, it works.
Yeah, it definitely works. All right, so we're going to jump into some news and rumors real quick. Let's go. Yes, some news and rumors. Yes, we got some spicy news. A little bit of news today. Dolphins fan is joining us today. He said the champ is in the house. Thank you for joining us today, Dolphins fans. What's up, bro? Thank you for joining us.
Hold on.
Holla at your boy. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hold on, Dolphins fan.
All right, so let's get into some news and rumors real quick. What we got here? Let's see what we serving up. All right, so let's start with the with this article here. We have Y2J says Karrion Kross needs to get out of NXT.
Yeah, so Y2J went on one of his rants, and he stated that he feels Karrion Kross is hot. He's on fire right now, and he needs to get out of NXT and get called up to the main roster immediately while the fire is hot. So he said, I don't, which is an interesting statement. With Jericho know how, everything's going on with with NXT call-ups being called to the main roster. And maybe it could be him wanting Karrion Kross to go up quick so Karrion Kross can be upset and come over to AEW. Who knows? But Jericho definitely did state that he feels Karrion Kross needs to get called up to the main roster while he's hot right now.
Excellent. What do you guys think? I want to hear you guys' comments. You guys are joining us live for Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. We want to hear comments. Do you agree with Chris Jericho? Do you think that Karrion Kross needs to be called up to the main roster? We want to hear what you think about Karrion Kross. How do you guys feel about Karrion Kross as a wrestler? Do you think he should be on the main roster right now? That's very interesting. I won't even argue with Jericho, man. I won't argue with a guy that I admire in the ring, out the ring. Jericho knows, man. Jericho's an excellent talent, excellent wrestler. He knows. So I won't. You know what? I haven't really watched too much of Karrion Kross's matches. I only seen like maybe one. But Jericho would know. You know what I'm saying? Like Jericho's one of those guys I could trust. You know what I'm saying? Because he has that eye. You know what I'm saying? How to pull out great gimmicks and great promos and stuff like that. So, if that would happen, he probably would know.
Right. Yeah.
I'll leave it there. What else we got? We got so there's some other news. Karrion Kross wants to fight fight the Beast. I said the Brock. He wants to fight the Beast at WrestleMania. Karrion Kross wants to challenge Brock Lesnar. This is my thing about the whole challenge of Brock Lesnar, though. I think it's one thing when you want to take on the toughest guy or presumably the toughest guy in the company, and then to actually be in the ring with one of the toughest guys. Like the idea of wanting to do it, actually translating that to a full-fledged, conception being, produced.
Right.
I don't know how that experience would pan out for Karrion Kross. Do you have any background on Karrion Kross as far as him having some MMA background or, anything about it? If you guys know anything about Karrion Kross's background, please drop it in the comment section below. We want to know what you guys think about Karrion Kross possibly fighting Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. We actually have a comment, Dolphins fans. He says, I think Kross should be up there soon. He should have one or two big matches in NXT, then get called up. Interesting. Okay. All right. So I guess we got to watch some more Karrion Kross in action.
Yeah, because I think he only had maybe like 4 NXT matches at this point, 4, maybe 5.
Yeah, and I heard like the rumor is that Vince McMahon or I think Triple H, somebody is kind of seeing him as like a younger Randy Orton, sort of like in that kind of light,
Mm.
something like that. So if they definitely see if they definitely see that natural potential in him, then but I'm gonna tell you what, I definitely love his gimmick though. His gimmick is dope. He
Yeah, it
comes
is.
out, he has the girl. She comes out with the hourglass of sand, and
Mhm.
puts it out and be like, your time is up. If they really develop that angle to make him like a hard hitter, to where he comes out and he really just delivers. I mean, not delivers. He gets over on those matches where he comes out with the sand and they book him solid. Like how they were booking Aleister Black solid when Aleister Black would have a fight and he would win the fight. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They book Karrion Kross like that solid with that hourglass and make that really work. And that would be dope. But if they want to put him in situations where where they don't want him to go over in a match, then they should take away the hourglass. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he fights a match, and they want him to lose, he doesn't use the hourglass. But when they want it to be a serious situation where he comes out and he wins, then he comes out with that hourglass and be like, your time is up. And you know what I'm saying? He comes out,
But the hourglass angle was only brought up for Cole when they were telling Cole, hey, your time as champion is running out.
yeah.
And I think last week or 2 weeks ago when she brought the hourglass that was broken, meaning your time's up. But hourglass isn't something that they do all the time. It's just letting them know like, your time as champion is coming to an end.
That's not a consistent gimmick.
No.
That should be a consistent gimmick. That works.
Yeah.
It's original. It's never been done. It's new, and it would definitely it'll add something special, a special mystique to his character. You know what I'm saying? Like something like very similar to the Undertaker, or similar to like the Fiend, or whatchamacallit, what's the other guy? Or Finn Balor when they transform into the Demon. It's like when he comes into that mode of your time is. But they should definitely use that hourglass gimmick like consistently with him. We have a comment from Dolphins fans. He says, "You can win. You can want to fight Brock Lesnar, but is there really a way to prepare to fight Brock? Because when he snaps, how do you stop him?" That's very true. When Brock Lesnar fought, that's very true. I was very excited to see Brock Lesnar. Well, for the match at SummerSlam, like 2 SummerSlams ago, I think it was, where he was supposed to fight Randy Orton. I know a lot of you guys was hyped for that match, and we was like, yes, we finally getting a Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar match. And I'm like, yo, this is going to be a good match. It's going to be dope. I can't wait to see how this pans out, how this plays out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when the match started, the match was like literally was it even 5 minutes? Brock Lesnar comes in, slams Randy, like suplex Randy Orton like 3 times. Then he gets on top of him and elbows him, and it's like the match ended like a death scene in Grand Theft Auto. When they like, be like wasted, be like wasted. Like, that's exactly how that fight ended.
I mean, it was a little longer than 5 minutes, but yeah, the way it ended definitely was just like, oh man, like really, this how this y'all build up this match, for this big encounter with these two, which they start off with the RKO out of nowhere, and you end with the ref stopping the match because Brock takes his gloves off and pound. Yeah, it was
right. Yeah, and it was just like I was like, in that match, hashtag Randy Orton deserved better. He deserved better in that match. I thought the match was going. I mean, especially for Randy Orton being a kind of cold, calculated wrestler that they build him up to be. I've expected him to be. I expected the match to last a little bit longer, especially it being Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar. Yeah, and exactly right with the hype, as you were saying.
As far as me, the idea with Karrion Kross fighting Brock at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Brock has lost his last 2 Mania matches, so I don't see, and then it's like if he fights Karrion Kross at Mania, I don't see them having him lose to Karrion Kross because then that'll be 3 consecutive, maybe 4 consecutive WrestleManias that he lost.
Yeah.
Unless Karrion Kross doesn't have a move that he can do multiple times. He gets a submission finisher, so that's where he's out right there. Either you need like 4 curb stomps or 5 claymores, and he doesn't have either one. So I believe it may be a good match. Hopefully.
And I think out of Brock Lesnar's whole career, I think only 2 people made him tap out. I believe that was no, one person made him tap out. I believe it was I know it was Kurt. I know Kurt Angle made him tap. That's for sure. But I think and you had Undertaker who put him in the gates of hell. He made him tap, but I think the ref wasn't watching.
Right.
But I know it was the SummerSlam that Undertaker won, but I don't think Brock Lesnar tapped. I think he fainted. So I don't see. I don't know if Brock would. I guess Brock would have to handpick the guy that he wants to really put over in that kind of fashion.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we have 2 comments. We have one comment. Dolphins fans, he says, I like the hourglass, the crowd chanting TikTok when Scarlett flips it over is great. Absolutely. Definitely agree with you. Sean Keys, what's up?
What's going on?
Sean? Too early. Oh, wait. Too early to want to see that.
Exactly. I agree.
Early for the match.
I agree with Sean. Yeah. For Karrion Kross to fight, it was way too early. I mean, that's why I said, as if they do it right now, I don't see Karrion winning. So they would have to definitely build Karrion a lot more, have him have a couple more matches, then have some kind of build in the main roster. Now we know Brock, time may be limited, but right now it's too early for that kind of match. And that's just my opinion. I agree with Sean.
Cool. Excellent. What else we got? Possible SummerSlam location laid on me, Jay. So Jay has some news about the possible SummerSlam location.
All right, you ready for this one? So WWE has, let's say, borrowed ideas from AEW in the past, where they when this whole COVID thing hit, they had empty arenas, and then AEW decided to have their developmental talent around the ring. So WWE took on that role of having their developmental talent around the ring.
Yeah.
So rumors are that this year for SummerSlam, instead of it being in the Performance Center, they're considering having SummerSlam on a boat, similar to how AEW did. Or if the boat idea doesn't work, they're looking at possibly having SummerSlam on a beach. So those are the 2 possible locations that they're currently looking at and ideas about. So what do you think?
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Very creative. Very creative. The boat idea, interesting. Like, I guess a yacht and have people stand at a distance and watch, which would be interesting to watch how they kind of set that up. And then the beach idea, I think, is very clever because there's a lot of square space. Well, I'm sorry, not square space, but there's a lot of open space that they can do it, especially if they find, an area that's very, you can find a good place by the shore, to do it on the beach, out in the open. Like it'll be very similar to the tribute to the troops.
Right.
So it'd be interesting, but on a beach is a good idea because it's SummerSlam, right?
Right.
I want to see the beach idea. I don't think I want to see them hash out the whole beach idea. Yeah, I think I'd be open to see that kind of work.
Yeah,
interesting. What do you think?
AEW did the boat thing, so I mean that would probably be cool too. But I agree with you. Yeah. I think the beach would be more realistic. It'll be unique, creative. Now if it was back to the beach, it'll make it'll be hands down. But like you said, SummerSlam, summer, beach. It kind of makes sense. So yeah, I mean.
What about? Did you see the whole AEW match on the boat?
No, I didn't see their pay-per-view. I'm gonna actually try to go look at it this week and try to catch up on it. But yeah, I saw like articles about them having a whole event, a weekend event on a yacht.
Because I know like Jericho was doing like the rocking. I forgot what it was called, the rocking something tour, where he was doing like matches on a cruise line. He was like performing rock. He was doing music. And then he was actually doing like matches. I don't know if he was hosting matches or actually having matches on a boat, but he did it. He had a sort of kind of like deal with like a cruise line. I think it was called like the Rockin' Cruise or something like that.
Right.
So is that the same thing? Was that connected to AEW, or was that just Jericho's own separate thing?
I'm not sure if it was. I'm not sure how they did it, but I know that they had. I think it might have been connected. I believe that with Jericho's whole event, he just incorporated AEW, and I think this was before COVID. They had fans who bought tickets for the yacht who actually got a chance to watch and experience AEW matches while on the boat.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Dolphins fans, he said, I like to see the boat idea. I can see Corbin throwing someone overboard. Absolutely.
I don't think that, I mean, because then it's like, unless they have like a safety net or somebody that's going to immediately go get them.
Yeah.
But so,
Yeah.
you know,
But,
but
I mean, well, hey, listen, in the corporate Money in the Bank match, they threw like two people off the roof. They literally killed two wrestlers in that pay-per-view. We've never seen two wrestlers die and come back on a Monday Night Raw like nothing ever happened, right? Like,
Hogan lost eyes, so it caught up to him.
right, right. All right, so this one was a doozy for me. Aleister Black is being written off TV.
Yeah. So I was reading an article about this the other day, where it says Vince McMahon has given up on Aleister Black.
Yeah.
So with creative, what's going on with creative right now? They have written off Aleister Black, I guess, to figure out what to do with him. And it's crazy because of the fact that you could have built and kept the momentum he had going to actually build a match with him and Seth at SummerSlam. You know, then after that, kind of write him off because now it looks like, okay, what was the point of you having all this stuff with Seth if he's going to be written off? But in the building blocks was there because last week Seth Rollins curb stomped his arm and he came out to bandage his arm.
Yeah.
And, we see Murphy doing the Rey Mysterio part 2.0. We're putting his eye into the corner of the steps, which is crazy. But so that's just WWE's way of writing them off for the time being. And the article also stated that it's crazy that as thin as they are with talent and superstars right now, that they would write him off like that. But
okay. So they're writing Aleister Black off TV. This is crazy, all right? Because like these type of rumors automatically like send us into like rant mode. I mean, and it's natural, right? There's a thought that passed through my mind. Aleister. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. This is what it was. So what I read in the article, in like one of the articles that dealt with Paul Heyman being pushed out of the creative spot was that he had a lot to do with certain wrestlers getting a push. Like, and Aleister Black was one of those guys. I think it was in the article it was saying that he was behind the whole Aleister Black fight gimmick. Like Paul Heyman worked with the writers to kind of build that whole gimmick with him to have him, be pushed out that way. And I'm bothered, man, because that angle really worked.
Right.
It was really dope for a person who didn't know who Aleister Black was, from his appearance to his in-ring performance. Excellent. He put on these two great matches with Buddy Murphy, right? And I'm quite sure he can run a great feud with Seth. And I was actually hoping that Aleister Black would run a feud with Seth Rollins. But now Vince is not high on. But this is the thing that like bothers us. Like, this is the thing that like just like confuses us. Is like we're watching the same programming. Like, how do you give up on Aleister Black? Like, how do you not see that potential? It's weird to me. It's like you see it, and then all of a sudden, it just dissipates. Like it's like, oh, I don't see it anymore. It's like, what did you not see? Like, but you know what happens? This is what I kind of feel. It's like one of the things is when Vince McMahon puts them in these hokey situations, like that whole fiasco with Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins, right? Because the only person in that feud that really looked good was Seth Rollins, right? Yeah. Person, and Buddy Murphy getting that push with him being with Seth Rollins. But the only person that really looked good in the feud between Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins was Seth Rollins. He's the only person that really looked good in that whole feud. Even though Aleister Black was coming out to help, it really didn't. He would come out and he would fight a little bit, but he never really got mic time. That's number one. And he never really got to shine like that, only other than just to come out and help. So if you're not giving him opportunity to let his character really show, then you're going to look at it like it's not working because you're not really utilizing him properly. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, why would you take a character who has great potential, you're building on great potential, put him in a bad gimmick, and then when the gimmick starts to turn over not the way you expected, you starting to look at the wrestler like it's his fault. You know what I'm saying? You have that Booker T moment. You know, you start tap dancing all over your talent. You know, your merits. You tap dancing. You know, start tap dancing. But anyway, I just think that I believe that's just what it is with Vince. Vince puts these great characters in these wacky ideas, and when these ideas are not hatched out the way that he wants it, or it doesn't go over the way he expects, because again, he's backstage pushing a button saying, you do this, you do that, don't do this, don't do that. And then when it doesn't pan out the way he visualizes it, it's like sometimes he blames the wrestler for it not happening the way he wanted it to happen. And it's like, because I'm trying to understand, like, because either he's really high or he's just plain stupid. I don't know, whatever. But
could be a mixture of both.
He high and stupid, right?
Highly stupid, you know, either way.
Right. Yeah. Great combination. Sometimes a great combination. Right. All right, man. So let's definitely get into this Raw. Okay, listen. Let's talk about this whole Dominic and Rey Mysterio gimmick, right? Okay, so all right, I would just jump into it. So Dominic comes out to confront Seth Rollins, and you know Dominic is like 75 pounds soaking wet. Like, you know, like this dude need to drink more milk. He needs some milk, man. That boy need more protein in his diet. This kid is like 75 pounds soaking wet compared to Buddy Murphy. It's because Buddy Murphy's jacked.
Yeah,
and Seth Rollins, and you know he stalls on Seth Rollins, and it was funny because he starts hitting Seth Rollins, and then Buddy Murphy pulls him off of him, and then it's like there was like this tussle where Dominic gets on top of Buddy Murphy. I was like, get the hell out of here with this shit. Get out of here! Like this guy's like 75 pounds, man. So he gets on top of Seth Rollins. He's hitting Seth. So this, I'm sorry, he's on top of Buddy Murphy. He's hitting Buddy Murphy. Then Seth comes in. Seth starts kicking Dominic, and it's like the way Dominic is getting hit, it looked like he's having a seizure. He's like it was like ridiculous. It was the funniest thing ever. I was like, yo, this is the craziest thing. We got 2 comments. Dolphins fans, would they do to Black what they did to Finn and send him back to NXT? I mean, you could do Black versus Cross. That would be good if they did send Aleister Black back to NXT if they felt like he's not fitting well. I feel like they shouldn't even take him back to NXT. I feel like they should just work his character, because I would love to see, Aleister Black, run a feud with like Apollo Crews. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would like to see him fight other people. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. But, if they do that, I would like to see, Black and Cross would be pretty dope to see that. Sean Keys, he says, Vince is old and dumb as F. Shaking my head. No way Aleister should be written off. Absolutely, man. We totally agree. There's no way, man. It's ridiculous to me. It is ridiculous to us, man. Ridiculous. Yeah, but this whole Dominic thing, man, I was just like, this is crazy. And then, they beating up Dominic, man.
Yeah, and it's like nobody's helping him. And before and when Seth looks at the stairs, that's when Aleister comes out of nowhere with his bandaged arm and his suit. Like, it does nothing. And see now, if I was Aleister, I feel some type of way, because while Aleister was getting beat up and his eye poked into the stairs, Dominic was over there chilling, getting kendo sticks. But with his eyes, so if I was Aleister, I feel some type of way.
Yeah, right. Like, bro, you out here getting kendo sticks. I'm over here getting my eye poked out.
Right.
Jose Vasquez, thank you, bro. Thank you for joining us, Jose. He says they should make Black like another Undertaker. He has that dark persona. Absolutely, man. I totally agree. We thought, that they were going to continuously build on that fight gimmick. But I guess, this is a warning for us, right? Whenever we see a great character being built and they're not going on that continuous solo run to like a singles title, and they just keep getting slapped in these tag matches, and you begin to see them have less mic time and less ring time, that's a warning for us that this may be the end for this character. And because that's exactly what they did to Aleister Black. That's what they did to the B Team. That's what they did to Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins, just to name a few.
Definitely Ricochet. You can
Ricochet and Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah, right.
Alexander the Entertainer. Let's talk about that match. Muhammad Ali came out.
No, Mufasa.
Mufasa Ali came out. Mustafa. Yeah. He's a great wrestler.
Yeah, he is. That match was funny. And in my head, I'm watching it, I'm like, yo, all right, I know Mustafa just came back. But if they sit here and let Mustafa beat Bobby Lashley in a clean match, all the momentum that Bobby built, this is gonna just come out of it and it's gonna go straight to the bottom.
All the way. I think you know what, and if their point is to build, and this is my thing, this is how I feel about the whole Bobby build. If their point is to build Bobby to fight Brock, Bobby should have more squad. He should have lengthier matches with bigger opponents and squash matches with smaller opponents.
Right.
It should just be squash matches. With Mustafa Ali, great talent. Bad booking. Like, don't bring him back to book him to lose. Like, at least have him fight. I mean, if he would have went over on Shelton Benjamin, now we already know what to expect, when it comes to Shelton Benjamin. We already know, like, he's a great performer, but we know that they're not going to give Shelton Benjamin that push that, like how we thought years ago. You know what I'm saying? So we already know, like, Shelton Benjamin comes in to fight a, new up-and-comer. It's a work. It's a job. He's going to more than likely lose. If he wins, it's just a win so that new face can, eventually come back and beat him to, get some momentum or whatever. But I think he should have went against Shelton Benjamin rather than Bobby Lashley. You know what I'm saying? So that way they could have Mustafa Ali beat Shelton Benjamin to give him some momentum. Like, if you're going to bring him back, give him some momentum. Like, don't. So this is crazy, man. Like, you got Mustafa Ali, you got Cedric Alexander, and you got Ricochet now being used as, like, they're jobbers, yo. This is crazy. Ricochet is do y'all hear what I'm saying? Ricochet is a jobber.
Yeah,
this is wow. This is wow. And from what we've seen him come from, this is wow, B. We're in the Twilight Zone. Wow. But the match was pretty good, pretty decent. It was good. It was good.
The end was kind of predictable. But yeah, once he got out of the 450, I'm like, he's gonna run to the corner, and Bobby gonna swing him around and put him in the full Nelson, which he did. Right. So, but it was a decent match. So yeah. What else happened? Now, and then we also see the seeds being planted for Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. With Randy coming out and making comments to start the match, and I found it funny because the whole time, like, Randy didn't even consider or make a reference or comment that.
Sorry about that, guys. We were having some connection issues. It just went out for a little bit. Sorry about that, having a little bit of technical difficulties. All right, Jose Vasquez, he says, just have too much talent and don't know what to do with them all. That's the problem, Jose. I think Vince is supposed to know what to do with them.
Right.
Like I put it to you like this, Jose. If I gave you the opportunity to book a Monday Night Raw for a month, I guarantee you I have enough faith in you as a fan to know how to book everybody on that roster and not make them look. I have faith in all of you guys who are commenting or watching to know that if I were to say to you guys, hey, I'm gonna give you a roster of everybody that's on Monday Night Raw, and I want you to book them in the match according to your own creativity and how you will make a good match. Because I'm telling you, because we watched this sport, we watched this long enough to know, like, all right, how certain things should be played out a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you want a certain character to look a certain way, how you want certain storylines to look a certain way. But Vince, it's like Bobby didn't have to fight. How come Shelton Benjamin didn't fight? Shelton Benjamin could have fought. You know what I'm saying? So it's just certain things it's certain ways he could have moved around, certain pieces he could have moved around, could have had certain things happen a certain way. Like for instance, like let's talk about Sasha and Asuka, right? The reason why Asuka lost the women's championship to Sasha without an actual pinfall is to make Asuka still look strong without, without actually, like, how do we, it's like their booking mind is like this. How do we make Asuka still look strong, but take the belt off of her and put it on Sasha? Because we want the belt on Sasha because we want to build all this steam behind Bayley and Sasha because they have a hot gimmick. How do we do that? And their way of doing that was, okay, we have them going to a pay-per-view. We have them going to a pay-per-view and they fight. And we have Bayley put on the red shirt. They made it up. We have it right. Not it won't be an official ending to the match because she wasn't an official ref. She wasn't, booked for that match to be an official ref. And then they'll say, okay, you know what? And then we'll stall 1 week because then on that Monday we'll announce for the next Monday there will be a rematch for the actual title. And any interruptions, any countouts, all those things will automatically result in a victory. And Asuka got counted out, whatever, because of Bayley backstage, and that's how they they move it around. But they're able to move things around like that, you know what I'm saying, to make wrestlers look a certain kind of way. They can do that with all these other wrestlers, but it's just like they just focus their attention on just certain groups of people,
Right.
Yeah. So you're happy. So you got what you want, Jay. You got what you wanted.
The boss, the blueprint, the standard.
You got what you wanted. I am happy. I wanted her to get the belt.
We haven't heard from Chanel since Extreme Rules.
So yeah, we have. I'm gonna talk extra loud so just in case she is. We haven't heard from Chanel since Sasha Banks got both of the belts.
Since she became Two Belts Banks.
Right, since she became Two Belts Banks. Let me see if I can get a Hulkamania holler back. Let me see if she. Nah, she ain't saying that. She ain't saying that. Jose Vasquez says Asuka should be as dominant as Flair.
She should have lost to Flair, in my opinion, but that's just me.
You said she never lost to Flair?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Asuka should be like the Goldberg of the women's division. You know what I'm saying? I like Goldberg. I like Oldberg, regardless of the fact, I just don't like how they've been booking them, and the reason. But anyway, I agree with you, Jose. Totally agree. I think Asuka should be as dominant, if not more dominant. That streak should have not ended.
Right.
That streak should have ended. If it should have ended on a better note. She should have went to WrestleMania. I mean, in that WrestleMania match, she should have won. And then, maybe at that SummerSlam, have her lose to if you wanted her to lose, if they wanted her to lose to Charlotte, but let her run, sort of a feud.
What a chiropractor.
Huh?
Scott Hall coming to chiropractor, Zapper, and then let Charlotte, get away.
Right. That would have been hilarious.
Would have.
That would have been gold, yo. They would have carried it with the cattle proctor.
Wait a minute.
Goldberg.
Now we're talking about that. Was Oscar's streak longer than Goldberg's?
Was it? Well, she was undefeated since she'd been in NXT. All throughout her stint of NXT. So how long was she in NXT?
Let's see. Let's do some research.
Yeah. Let's check this out. If you guys know, y'all could drop that comment real quick. Chanel. We got a little response from Chanel. Response from Chanel. We got a little response. Was it Chanel? Listen, she's not worthy. She says that she's not worthy. Jose Vasquez, he says, yes, it was. Yes, it was. We have Jose, he says 2 to 3 years in NXT. Thank you, Jose. Appreciate it. 2 to 3 years. So let's see.
It was 2 years. After spending 2 years in WWE's developmental brand, which is NXT, where she was a former NXT champion, her reign of 510 days being the longest in that title's history, as well as female competitor year 2016 and 17, and overall competitor in 2017. NXT year in award actually was moved to.
Okay, so Goldberg was.
Asuka debuted on October 7th.
We got Dolphins fans. He says, now how do they book them to lose the titles? And do you expect a heel turn during that time at some point? Okay, that's a good question. Okay, so how do they book them to lose it? Okay, so this is how I would do it. So I'm gonna give my shot at it. So this is how I see it, right? The first titles that they should probably lose, I think is the most obvious, is the tag titles, right? And this is what I would say. Lose the tag titles. Once they lose the tag titles, they both have their women's titles. They're still together. They're helping each other out, whatever. Then they go to, then it's like they're in a match. One of them lose their titles. How I would book it, I would book Bayley to lose her title. Bayley loses her title. Sasha keeps her belt. Bayley gets jealous. Bayley says, oh, you should credit me for me helping you win the title. If it wasn't for me, they get into a little spat or a little dispute because Bayley loses her title because, somehow in that match, Sasha didn't help her. You know what I'm saying? Or Sasha tried to help her, but she still wound up losing the belt anyway. Bayley gets mad. And from there, that's when that feud kind of stirs up. Or what they could do is Bayley loses her title or Sasha loses her title. Bayley still has a belt, but they have the tag titles, right? But then the real conflict comes when they lose the tag titles after one of them loses their heavyweight title. And because they lose the tag titles in a tag match where one of them kind of fell short of helping each other in the victory, that's when they begin to feud over that one belt. So that's how I would see it. Jay?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're both heels now, so it wouldn't make. It's hard to turn a heel, so one of them would have to turn face. But I can see that happening. They're getting over they're getting over a dispute as they lose the tag belts to someone, and whoever fault it is, and then the other one's like, hey, let's just say they lose the belt, and it's because of because of Bayley, and Sasha comes out on SmackDown or Raw, whatever. SmackDown. Well, it will be hard because then if they lose the tag belts and they can't go to each other's show, so that would be kind of weird. But
okay,
so they would have to lose one of the belts, either the Raw Women's Championship or the SmackDown Women's Championship, and then the other one says, hey, well, I like having my two belts, so how about I take yours, kind of thing, and then that can kind of add to the feud. But or it can come from jealousy, like, hey, I got two belts, what do you think? I think I need three. I want to be the ultimate women's champion.
Yeah, so, I personally definitely see the feud. I definitely see the feud really kind of happening between those two when one of them loses their titles. I think that's when the feud's going to start. I
think so.
Yeah, because is the best way to book it. You know what I mean? Like one of them try to help, and then whatever she tries to do, one like let's say for instance, like what's another good all right, we got a comment real quick. Jose Vasquez says Goldberg Street was just over 100. Yeah, I believe Goldberg Street was like 146 or something like that.
3-0.
He said what?
173-0.
173-0. Okay, yeah, he was almost 200, almost to 200. Yeah, I like who yeah, like okay, for instance, you know, it was a good example when Shawn Michaels and Diesel were together, right? And remember, Shawn Michaels kept super kicking Diesel.
After every oh man, like Survivor Series, any match they had was Diesel would hold Shawn's opponent, the guy missing, Diesel gets super kicked, and Shawn's totally like, God damn it,
right. And then I got to the point where Diesel got mad and he just like he caught he picked up Shawn and caught him with like three. He put him in like 3 jackknives, and then they lost the titles because of that. Like Diesel's like, all right, enough is enough, and you know what I'm saying. So if they run a gimmick like that where Sasha, let's say, is holding up Asuka and or whoever they're fighting, maybe you know Peyton Royce or something like that, and you know Bayley comes to hit her with the belt, and you know Peyton Royce moves out the way, hits Sasha in the face, you know, and then they wind up getting the pin or whatever like that, or you know, little things like that happen, you know, and then they kind of stir up the feud from there. They can stir it up through there, but I think I think that would be the best way to kind of like start the feud, really. So what was another hot spot? We had
Shayna, obviously.
Oh man, oh yeah. So okay, so we got Shayna versus Botchamania. I'm like, this is
yeah, I don't. Yeah, that. I mean, what did Shayna do to deserve that? Like,
right. Botchamania Jax. I mean, come on. All right, you know what? We got two notorious botches on the roster. Seth Rollins is a great wrestler, but apparently there was an article I read. I forgot. I should have pulled the article up so I can read it to you guys real quick. But apparently Seth Rollins is another wrestler who injures people too. Like we know that with the Finn and I forgot, like there was like 2 other people. Like somebody he gave a concussion with the curb stomp. Who?
Sting,
right. I'm sorry, Sting. Yeah, but apparently like he botched. I believe Seth Rollins. But he botched somebody. I think it was Rey Mysterio. Sean Key says, no, Nia slander allowed ever. I don't know, Sean.
Her
girl Botchamania is gonna get a whole lot.
Bro, her action speaks for itself.
Andre at Joho, hopefully I pronounced your name properly, bro. Thank you for joining us. He says, this is awesome. I support your podcast. We appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. Absolutely. Thank you, man. Thanks for the love, bro. So Sean is well. I like Nia too. I think Nia is sexy. I think she's a sexy woman. She's beautiful. Nia, ain't she beautiful, Sean? She's beautiful, ain't she? She's beautiful. But listen, she botching, babe. She botching. She out here, you know, knocking chicks out, giving them bloody noses. She out here. What else she doing? She giving Kyrie Sane concussions, man. She need to jail.
Right.
She need to jail.
See how you saw how Shayna came out, and that's why I love Shayna, straight to the point. Like Nia comes out and says all this stuff. Shayna comes out. Nobody gives a damn of what you want. Straight to the point.
Yeah.
And I didn't. So they started the fight there, and then they had an actual match that ended in a count out, which was so dumb to me. But maybe they're trying to build for them to fight at SummerSlam. But that double count out was just like, really.
Okay, here's my prediction: whoever goes over in this feud is the person they're going to push.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think that's what we can expect, right? But I feel like. And it's so funny, right? This is funny. This is a funny situation because you got Nia Jax, who is kind of like teetering on this line of what they're going to do with her or how they're going to handle her, being that they had the situation with her, like botching matches and wrestlers complaining about her or whatever. And then kind of her like not having any, like having little TV time, and then they bring her back along with Shayna Baszler, who Vince McMahon has given up on, who he said he has given up on, but now has brought her back to now fight with Nia. Isn't that a coincidence? Don't you guys see the pattern here? You see what's going on, right? So whoever wins out of this feud is the person that Vince is going to say, you know what, I'm going to continue with that person, and that person is going to go back. That person is going to be a jobber. Jose Vasquez says Rollins always botches the buckle bomb. Yeah, man, he need to slow down with that move. Sean Key says, did you see the last pic she posted? She can never wrestle again. Nah, son, you see it was on Instagram? I can't. Yeah, I'm gonna get in trouble, man. But yeah, check it out, man. I know it's on Instagram. But yeah, Nia is. Anyway, but yeah, man. Whoever wins out of that feud, yeah, they're definitely that's who Vince is going to be like. All right, you getting the push. We're gonna, and I don't think it's necessarily going to be a push, but it's going to be like, all right, we're going to start over with you. We're going to try you. We're going to see how you go. We're going to mold you. We're going to continue on with you, and then try to work with you from there. But yeah, I definitely feel like that's where they're going to go with that one. So Drew McIntyre. So come on, man. What's up, man? You got to have some more Shayna. Come on, man. Like, what do you think? How confident do you feel about this whole Shayna thing? Because when I seen her come back, I was like, she's gonna feud with Nia Jax. I was like, dang. I was like, this is pretty big. I'm saying to myself, like, they're not putting her against somebody she can just like annihilate real quick. They're really giving her somebody tough. So it's almost like it's because I feel like this feud is going to run for like maybe the next. I mean, to like the whole of until WrestleMania, to SummerSlam.
I personally feel that this is Vince's way of actually looking at Shayna to see if he can get something, if he can grasp her. You can say, all right, well, you have a competitor, you have your a singles one-on-one match. So let's see how you promote and how you build yourself, for the match via promos and actually in-ring stuff. And you see how she Nia's botched throwing her out the ring the other day. Like her leg got caught in the rope and Nia had to unhook it. I'm just like, but
already like
SASHA. I mean Shayna, but yeah, I think that's how it's gonna be. I think Vince is like looking at it like, I mean, because we've seen, obviously we just seen Nia fight for the women's championship twice and lost, and she comes out making excuses, which is dumb. So yeah. I think it's Vince is we're looking at Shayna to say, okay, well let's see what everybody's talking about. Maybe I overlooked her. Let's see if I can envision and see Shayna, holding down the women's division. So that's just how I vision that Vince is looking at it. Hopefully he is, and hopefully Shayna can knock it out of the park and either SummerSlam or pay-per-view at the next. He can go ahead and she can go ahead and become Raw Women's Champion and hold down the roster for a while, because before we know it, it'll be January, February, and the man will be lurking around like, hey, I'm back, ding dong.
Yeah. And they're going, and Stephanie's going to be in a rush to slap that title around her waist.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah, Sean Key says, I agree. The winner of the feud, 9 out of 10, will be the women's champ. Who else do they believe in on the main Raw women's roster? Who else do they believe in? That's true. Like, who else, right? Who else? Because we got Asuka, and we got Sasha. We got Asuka. We got Sasha, and Nia was the other one. And then so it's Shayna. It's supposed to be Shayna. Shayna's supposed to be that girl. Charlotte's not there anymore. So.
And unfortunately, they got Bianca Belair with Ruby Riott. Like
Bianca Belair, right? And Bianca didn't even show. She wasn't even on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, she wasn't. Did she? I think she had a backstage promo.
Yeah,
with Ruby. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and I'm sure she's going to be using the angle at SummerSlam with the Street Profits fighting Angel Garza and Andrade. you know, because Elena Vega is obviously going to be in their corner. So I'm sure they're going to somehow wiggle their way to put Bianca with the Street Profits. So
yeah, but I could definitely, man, because I would definitely want to see a match. I definitely want to see a Bianca Belair versus Charlotte Flair.
Yes,
I want to see
a real
Bianca Belair versus Ember Moon.
And not the crap they had at NXT. I want to actually see a real match with them too. And then so we can actually see like Bianca go, because I feel like her going to NXT beating Bianca was basically just her build to, you know, because obviously she was going after the NXT championship, so it will be dumb for her to lose. But like with no build, no you know, backstage, no politics behind it, no backlining storyline. Yeah, let them just go out there and have a one-on-one match, and we can really see, you know, what can really happen. But I think, I mean, like I said, pound for pound, I think Bianca is, I mean, to steal from her, you know, catchphrase, she is the EST. You know, she's the strongest woman competitor in my opinion, the most athletic, you know, the most charismatic. You know, because at first that you know, claim went to Naomi and Ember Moon, but now I think Bianca definitely surpassed both of them in all aspects. So I think she's the most, you know, like, again, the strongest, the most athletic, you know, out of all the women today.
I've seen her. I only seen her in the I think the takeover match. It was pretty dope. When I seen her, I was like, who? First I was like, who is that? And the second, I was like, who's that? You know what I'm saying? But I was like,
right? Maybe knocking at your door.
Yeah, she right. Maybe she watching this.
No, talking
Black Girl Magic right there. I was like,
Montez Ford.
Montez Ford. We got a quote from Sean Keys. Sean Keys, he says, Bianca is who I believe in if it's me.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. This to me, again, she's one of those. When I seen her and I started to see like the promos and stuff. I was like, she's it. I was like, especially the hair and just everything. I'm like, she got the black girl swag with it too. It's just the way she's doing it. But you know what I'm saying? It's not overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? But it works well with her character, especially with the Street Profits. But that'll be dope to have her stay with the Street Profits, then have her go on to win the women's championship. See, but they could really work this thing. They could really work this right. You know what I'm saying? They could really work this right to where they could run some excellent feuds with like Becky and Charlotte, and then, you know, Becky and Bianca, or Charlotte and Bianca, and then like Shayna and Becky. Like they could really work it. Like they could really have, like, I mean, just awesome programming, just working with those, you know, those 5-6 competitors, man. Like, doing it right.
You know what would really skyrocket Bianca, and I'm not gonna lie to you.
Who's that?
If Bianca's with the Street Profits, and Montez Ford turns on Angelo Dawkins, and then Montez Ford and Bianca go their separate way, that would skyrocket both their careers. But in hindsight, it would also ruin Angelo Dawkins' career, because then he definitely would be a jobber at that point. So.
Yeah, because Angelo Dawkins, he needs to be more comfortable on the mic.
Right.
I see the potential, but Angelo needs to be more comfortable on the mic. And yeah, and I definitely agree. I definitely see Vince. I definitely can see Vince looking at Angelo like, I see potential in you, but I need to see more.
Right.
And if that more does not happen within a 6-month vitamin and prayer program, then I don't think he's gonna last that long, if you guys know what I mean. If he ain't taking his vitamins, you know what I'm saying? Then I don't see it really happening, you know, because if Dawkins bulked up a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, I could see Vince, you know, giving him a different look, like, you know, well, maybe we could do something with you if you guys decide to break up. So, but I definitely see, what's the other guy name again?
Montez Ford.
Montez Ford. You can see it. You can tell Montez Ford is definitely going to be a singles competitor.
Right. Of course.
Yeah. So they're going to be Sean and and Marty Jannetty soon. Angelo would suffer if they break up. Yes, exactly. Yeah, man. I see. Yeah, I seen it. And it's crazy because it's so visual. You could see it. You could see it. Like you could, Montez Ford has all the swag. You know what I'm saying? He brings that energy, and it's just that it's you can see Angelo Dawkins trying to be comfortable with the spotlight. You can see him trying. It's like he's giving a good effort, but there's moments where he's comfortable, and then there's moments where it's just like he's just blurting out lines. There's moments where he's comfortable. There's moments where he's just saying lines. So
right,
he just gotta relax and just let it flow out of him. Just let it flow. Yeah, man. All right, man. So let's get to this last match real quick. This last little piece. So we already know that Ziggler wasn't going to go over. We know that.
And when you was going off, I was kind of talking about that. I forgot to go back to it, but it's funny because when Randy first came out and cut his promo at the beginning of Raw, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go on a SummerSlam, and Drew, I hope you're ready," knowing that Dolph Ziggler had this match. Right. Later that night, he didn't even consider Dolph. He didn't even say, or if Dolph happens to win, that's fine. He immediately said, "Yeah, Drew. So when you win, so at SummerSlam, it's gonna be me and you for the belt." And then, and then Drew came out like, "Yeah, Randy, you want to fight me at Mania? I mean, at SummerSlam, fine." Yeah. Got it. And Dolph was like, "Wait a minute, you got a match against me, don't?"
It's true. There was like he didn't even mention like Dolph. Like he's like, "Yeah, Dolph. If you, it was just like, so Drew, me and you as." But this was a non-title match though.
It was.
Yeah, it was non-title.
Oh, I thought it was for the belt. Oh, okay.
Nah. It was non-title. They changed it. It was supposed to be for the title, and then they changed it at the last minute and made it non-title.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah, it makes sense. But it's funny because when Ziggler cut his promo, Ziggler was like, Randy's gonna have to wait, a few more weeks because I still got my, my feud, like I still got some unfinished business with Drew. But Randy just came in like, "Nah, chill, B." He blocked out like Mutombo, baby. He's like, no title victories over here. And he just blocked this whole promo. He's like, "Yo, I don't care what promo you cut. I don't care what dreams you got blocked. All his dreams." Is like, "Nah, I'm taking this." But so I'm hyped about this. I'm hyped about Randy and Drew because Drew has a threat, a legitimate threat. I have hope in Ziggler. I have faith in Ziggler, but the same faith and hope I have in Ziggler is the same hope and faith Vince McMahon and the company has in Randy Orton, which means that title might be going with Randy at SummerSlam. And that's one of the rumors I heard, that they want to take the belt off of Drew, put it on Randy, have him work a few months with the belt, and then have Drew take the belt back. But in front of a crowd. They wanted to be in front of a crowd to kind of give him that pop, that ovation that they felt that he should have got at WrestleMania, so to speak. But I'm gonna tell you what, Jay. This is a different kind of Randy, man. I'm telling you, this is a different kind of Randy. This is the Randy Orton we should have had, years ago. Like, but this is and it's not even that it's not because he's seasoned. It's because he's a more mature Randy. He's the Randy that kind of realizes like, yo, I can create, like I can really create and establish a great legacy with this title. Because that promo he cut in the ring, he did a lot of blaspheming. He started talking about he's better than Stone Cold and better than The Rock. And I was like, whoa. I'm like, whoa. I was like, whoa. I was like, I like you, Randy, but I don't like you that much. All right. I was like, I'm not a big Stone Cold fan, but I respect Stone Cold, and I like Stone Cold enough to say that there's not a lot of people that can hold a torch to Stone Cold. Stone Cold was the man. That's what it was. It was what it was. The Rock, you're bugging. You're crazy. There's not one Randy Orton promo that Randy ever can pull up to compare to any of Rock's promos. And if just Rock playing around promo. He need to chill.
But I think Randy wasn't more so talking about promo. I think he's talking about like as far as like in ring work, which I still don't agree with him, but I think he's talking about like accolades and things of that nature.
Yeah. All right, I'm sorry. Sean Keys, real quick, he says one last title reign before it's over for him. I'm gonna be honest with you, Sean. I feel like Randy's just starting. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know it sounds weird, and I know you're like, he's been in the ring too long, but just hear me out. The reason why I say that Randy's just starting is because when Randy could have shined his best was around. Well, Randy got to shine his best during the ruthless aggression era, and then when the PG era came in, he had to play a hardcore, old school kind of flat heel. You know what I'm saying? Even though he did some good heel work, it wasn't his best work where he could really do what he wanted to do and kind of move the way he wanted to move because there was a lot of restrictions on the wrestlers. But now they don't have that restriction anymore like they used to. And at this point right now, he can really dig deeper into it. I feel like Randy is just getting started. Sean Key says, does seem he's had a second life in wrestling right now. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like it's just the energy is just different. It's just like, whoa, like hold on a second. Because this is that Randy Orton that Triple H seen, the potential he's seen. This Randy Orton that we see right now is the Randy Orton I seen when he won the World Heavyweight title from Chris Benoit. I was like, who is this guy? And then when he was cutting those promos, around that time, I was like, yo, this guy's the future. But he, when things went wrong backstage, it was like that, it didn't go in that direction. So they had to go to John Cena and they, put the company on John Cena. But damn, what was I saying before? But yeah, back to Randy talking. This dude's blaspheming, man.
But I agree with Sean. It would be amazing, and it would make sense for them to put the belt on Randy, like you said, because right now he's hot.
Yeah, Randy's hot. Randy's on fire. I'm telling, and this is the thing about Drew. Drew definitely deserves another title reign, and it's the cool thing about it. I think once Drew gets another title reign, he'll be a little bit more comfortable. Mm-hmm. He'll be more comfortable. I think Drew is like a Batista. He'll play good as a face. He'll work well as good as a face. But he'll have his hardcore fans, but he won't. I don't think he will ever get that heat. Like it's just something. It's just that aura. You just gotta have that aura. Like Stone Cold had that aura. Triple H had that aura. The Rock had that aura. Like certain people had that. Hogan had that aura. Macho Man, what I'm saying? They had that. Certain people had that aura where it was like you knew they were the man. Like when they came in the building, like we know Drew is like the guy, but it's like Randy's like, I look like the champion without the belt. That's that aura. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like that's that aura that you gotta have. And it's like I feel like Drew is he's good. You know what I'm saying? Like he's good, but Randy got that aura, man. He got that aura like, nah, it's Orton time. Like, so I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see what happens with Randy getting the belt. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be crazy. I think this is going to be a good run. I feel like his last good title run was when he had the undisputed titles.
Oh, yeah, right. When he had both belts, yeah.
Yeah, that was his last. I think that was his. To me, I think that was like his best run. It was like it was just everything was just right at that point. His promos was right. It wasn't flat. He was relaxed. He was comfortable. Everything was so right at that moment. Everything was right. Everything was just right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this Randy right here, man. this, you know, because certain guys only get better with age, man. And this dude, this guy Randy, man.
All right.
Oh man.
Like I said, he's hot right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that boy on fire, man. That boy on fire. But yo, we're gonna close shop. We thank you guys for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. When you guys get the opportunity, you guys get the chance, please share, like, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. Hit up our Wrestling Talks and Thoughts page and group. Hit a like, hit a subscribe if you guys want to catch the daily live videos. I'm sorry, not daily live videos, the weekly live videos. We thank you guys for joining us again. We will be back at you guys this Thursday for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts to talk about NXT and hopefully some AEW if we get around to it. I'm your host, Saheem the Dream.
Your co-host, J Mac Main.
J Mac Mizzle. And we will see you guys later.